Welcome back to Wrenches in Motion, where if it ain't broke, I ain't buying it. And today, well, it's not broke, but we're gonna try to make it better. So what we've got is a Honda part number 08U97-TZ5-210A. And what can be in here? Of course, everything's gonna get out of the way. I think I did an unboxing earlier, but we got some plastic, some more plastic. Just throw those down here for now. And in here, wire harnesses, screws. Nice big bolt. We've got a assembly. Throw that down here. And we've got a steering wheel. Now this is going to go in that Acura MDX. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the BMW out of the way, bring the MDX in, and we're going to try to install this new wheel. But what's special about this wheel is not the wheel itself, but this right here. Well, actually, this is kind of the wheel itself. This is our heated steering wheel switch, and everything we need to install a heated steering wheel in the MDX. So, stand by. Watch Gunner do what he's going to do, and let's get this car out of the way and get the MDX in. Alright, so the first step, I mean, you don't really have to do this. You can get to the battery post easy enough, but pop these two clips up. Just take them out. And wiggle that free. Take out our full of dust and dirt air thing there. Oh, kind of like ram air, I guess. And I'll take our 12mm, undo the battery. Oh, that does one side. Come on. Should be our positive side there. Let's take that off, I think. Yep. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know, can you see that? No. Anyway, right in here, we just loosened that, took these two off. That's our positive. We want to keep that away. Definitely don't want that to touch because we're working with airbags, and of course, you know that whole thing about airbags. Maybe time to get new trim tools. These are getting pretty beat up. So we're just gonna get in here and pry this out. Maybe. If we had decent trim tools, we'd be able to do this. So this has got to come out. Because we need to get to, there we go. Trying to be careful not to break anything. I'll just set this over here. We need to get to these two Phillips screws so we can drop this part of the panel down. Okay, now I think you can see the two screws I'm talking about. These two right here. Come on. Okay, I probably just bumped the camera. So now we can drop this panel down, disconnect these switches, and we'll go from there. So I just realized the lighting may not be the greatest. due to the fact that it's a black interior and we're in the carport. I was going to do this in the driveway where there was more sunlight, but something told me don't do it. So I think this is just going to pull out. At least it should. Get the screws out now. There's the split right there. So it is just this side piece. So you're coming with me. If I break this, wife's gonna have a problem. Ah, no one said it was gonna be that hard to get out. Sheesh. Ah. Come on, one more. There we go. I hope. Now I got a little clip here. Which don't want to come out, of course. That's all we got left for this is this. Push down and pull. There we go. All right, so we got that piece out. That was our traction control switch. We got that out of there. Looks like we didn't break anything, so that's good. Something open. And the dog's back with the tennis ball. And I want to say he dropped it under the truck. Alright, so now we got that. Our next step, I'm going to take you off of this tripod and show you what the next step's going to be. Walk in a little bit. We're going to try to get in here and loosen up the plastics for the steering wheel. Or the airbag, I'm sorry. Okay, those are T27s for anybody interested. The airbag lifts off. And the T27s go right in there on both sides. So let me get in there, disconnect it, pull the airbag out of the way, and then we'll take a look at what we're looking at inside. Okay, so flipping the airbag up, we see we got white or tan and green on the left, tan and black on the right. And if you look closely at these connectors, you'll see two white things. You've got to press both of them at the same time and then pull the plugs out. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so I was slightly wrong. You have to pull these things down and then the connector will come out of the airbag. And this one here is just your standard push and it comes out. All right, so now that we got those done, I believe next step's going to be taking the wheel off. So we shall see. Just want to make sure it's straight. They say to scribe a line down onto... Well, that's not going to make any sense. You can't scribe a line onto the bolt because you're going to use a new bolt. You can't scribe a line from here onto the wheel because you're going to take the wheel off. So we'll just say the wheel is straight and we'll have to put it back on straight. Also, when we take the cable reel off, I want to, on the old one, turn it, see how far it goes, because if you don't put that on right, you have to do a steering angle calibration. And the last vehicle I tried to do that with my scanner, it didn't want to do it. So if not, it's got to go to the dealer to get the steering calibration done. So just in case I didn't hit record, we're going to do this again. 10 millimeter, 3/8 drive, Milwaukee. Take the nut out, drop it of course, and then scribe a line between this line on this piece of plastic right there, straight down. There's supposed to be a key on the steering wheel. Now we'll see if we can find that. We're going to try to mark like where the splines are so we can put the steering wheel back on straight. I've got our line scribed. I don't know if it's really going to matter. I mean, you know, if you put the steering wheel on a little bit crooked, you just take it off, put it back on again. And you can do that without this airbag in there, so I don't know. I think we're just going to do it the way it is. And with that, your steering wheel should come off. Now I'm just going to feed these how am I going to do that? How am I going to get these? Oh, that's how I'm going to get it. I'm just going to disconnect it from there. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so with the wheel off, it should look like this. This clip's on top. That's what the white clip plugs into. These are your airbag clips. So I keep that. This is the old one. Now I got to take the surround off, and it should be just pop them up. Fold this up out of the way, just like that. Obviously, we're gonna get these two screws out. There's a screw way down here. We gotta take that out, and then we'll see about this panel's got to come out. There's a temperature sensor right here. Then we have to disconnect the hose. We got to disconnect our start-stop. There's always a hidden screw that no one mentions, and in our case, it goes up right in there. Okay, so I think we've got everything loose. Let's try to get this panel off now. Well, I don't really have a good place to put this for you, but the tilt telescope switch, we're going to disconnect that, and then this whole piece of plastic is going to drop right out just like that. Ah! All right, let me get that disconnected, and we'll work on this over here. Okay, so there's where our plastic tube connects. That's for the temperature. I think I can get away with just reaching in there and pulling the plastic tube out. It's got that little connector. If you can see it. So we'll do that, and then maybe we'll be a little bit closer. Oh, that's a nice tight fit too. We'll have to see about that. Hang on. Well, to get that panel out, I had to pull a lot harder than I wanted to. But it's out. So now, if you look way down here, you'll see this is clipped into a harness, or into a holder. Let's see if I get some light down there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so make sure you clip that back in, and then we'll just disconnect the start switch, and we should be able to do this. Swing it around. All right, I'm gonna disconnect that, pull that out, and then that piece of trim will be out. And then we'll work on taking the cable reel out. Okay, on the cable reel, we got this little one here. Come on. Anyway, airbag, and then we got another one. And the new one actually has a third one, and that's for the heated steering wheel. So let's work on getting these out. I don't know why this one's not coming out. It should. Okay, if you've never taken one of these airbag connectors off, all you do is you either grab here and slide this back, and the connector will pop right out. See if I can demonstrate for you real quick. You can see it snaps in. And you can't do it from underneath because they got that, so you gotta get one thumb on both sides, pull that back, and then it pops right out. Now this has got a little tab here, tab on top, and a tab on the other side. So we'll try to do the sides first, since we got two hands. And then here's your top one right here. Okay, so now we got that off, we're gonna take the reel off. There's a tab here, and there's two tabs like right here, not down here where I was pointing to, but right up here. So those are kind of a pain, so wish us luck and we'll try to get those out. Well, I'm doing you guys a disservice by not showing you everything. So hopefully you can see, pop the top one, we do this side, pop that tab, over here pop this one, hopefully the other ones don't go back in. That should be our cable reel. There's our nice cable reel. The old part number, as you can see, there's only two spots down here. It's 35000 TR0 A110 M1, and that is our old cable reel. So let me get our new one over here, and we'll take a look at it just for comparison. Okay, crisis averted. This part in here, it goes around here with this plug, that is for your steering angle. That's your steering angle sensor. So the other outside piece does have that extra port here. That's for the heated wheel. I got to take this out and transfer it to the other cable reel. Okay, this should be fairly easy. We just got a couple clips. And this thing should pry off. On both sides. Gently. Also gently. We don't want to break anything. Oh, of course there's two at the top too. Oh, I'll just push them in. Okay, so we got those two. And try to get pressure. And get the bottom ones. Why do I feel like they're snapping in every time I try to get them out? Okay. Getting off the old one, not so easy. At first I thought there was only 2 clips. Then I thought there was 4. It actually turns out there's 6. So, got all 6 clips loose. Got this on our new thing with our heating port. So, we should be good to go as far as this goes. Okay, so as we look, you got steering column. If you come down here a little bit, this right here is your plug for the heated wheel. Sort of cut this tape, pull this off. That's our wire that we need. And also, I just saw something else interesting. This is more for my knowledge and you guys. There's a connector under here with an orange and blue wire that probably goes to one of these switches that could go here. And there's also one with dark green, purple, light green, and brown, which looks like it could also go to a switch if it was in this panel. So I'm wondering if I can just find out what switches are supposed to go there and plug these in and have more options that we didn't have before. That's for another episode. But I thought that was kind of neat. Thank you, Acura, for throwing extra wires in here. Okay, so let's get busy. We're going to just cut that loose, and then we're going to mount our new cable reel on. Okay, so if we take a look up underneath, we'll see heated wheel, blah, 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 airbag, and we got the steering angle sensor plugged back in. So all that should be good. This one here is for our tilt telescoping. That's for the traction control. This is for our air temperature sensor, and this is for our start stop. These two are for our airbags, so we really haven't done anything too confusing yet. All right, so here's the next step, and this is where I'm going to go offline for a little bit, because we need to take all of our stuff, our switches, out of here, and they gave us new plastics for this, and put them into the new wheel. Once you get this cover off, 2 screws, and we got 2 screws up here. Yep, that was it. Those 4 screws came out. It's going to allow us to access our paddle shifters. And then this is just clipped in. So hopefully we can get this whole wiring harness out real quick. Under the paddle shifter, our 2 screws for our switch. And a clip for a wire harness. And we got a new wire harness, which includes the heated wheel. So we're going to be putting this one in. Well, we managed to get the old wire harness out. Put a new wire harness in that plastic. Continue taking our switches out. And we got our switches out, and they are press fit in there. So in addition to the screws, they go in there really tight. So now we have the switches off. It's a good time to clean in here and every place you couldn't get before. So now we got that done. We're going to move over to the new wheel and we're going to put our switches in. And the wire harness is going to go in after that. They gave me 2 wire harnesses and I don't know why. I'm going to read the instructions and see if I can figure out why, but got an extra plug here on the heated wheel. We got 2 of our switches. We've got 2 of our screws for our switches in. And over here, the hardest part is these posts have to line up. So you got to kind of finagle the switch as you're pushing it in, and finally it'll snap into place. Same thing down here. These might still need to be pushed in a little bit, but yeah, that's where we're at now. Well, I went with the blue harness simply because I think it fit better. I think this is the heated wheel. We got extra connectors on here that I don't know where they go. So let's see if we can drop this in and hook up some switches. Well, we're learning as we go. I had to take the ground wire and move it a little bit. Untape it from here because it was too short, so now it'll reach. Make sure that these are totally flat inside the channel, otherwise you'll never get that put back on. Okay. Oh, I gotta laugh. So we got our assembled steering wheel almost, and then I realized that we have our thermal here, and it has got to get screwed into there, which means everything we did, we got to take the whole wheel apart again so we could screw this in and then put our assembly back in. Yeah, instructions would have been nice. Also, there's a relay. I don't know where that goes. And there's a fuse. I'm assuming I got to put the fuse in the fuse box. But the relay is going to be something. Hopefully there's a plug for it somewhere. So at this point in the video, you're probably wondering why I have everything torn apart again. Well, when you put the harness in here, that channel right there is important. Because I had it over here, and there's no way to get this connector onto the thermal. So, had to take it all apart again, flip it around again, and make sure this goes in the channel, and now it'll plug in there. So let's put this back together one more time. Hopefully this is the last time. So this must be the right way for the harness. Everything's snapped into place where it's supposed to. Plenty of room for the ground wire to get where it needs to be. This is in the right spot, so I think we're ready to put the switches in again. Okay, finally, the wheel is done. I'm hoping this can tuck down and be out of the way. I guess we're going to find out when we try to put the airbag in. So let's grab the airbag and see if we can slop it in here real quick. So now that we know the airbag fits, what we had to do, of course, because nothing's easy, is we had to reroute that connector under that bar there for the wheel, and then now it sits down far enough where everything works. When you look in the back, everything's on. So time to put this wheel in. Okay, so let me take you on another adventure. They gave me a 10 amp fuse, which I can't find where it is anywhere, but on the passenger side, number 11 is for the heated steering wheel, and that is the 10 amp right above the 7.5 amp. It's on your left. Counting from the bottom is 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah, 11. And that's that. It included a relay as well, so I'm trying to figure out where that goes. No instructions I can find pertaining to this install. Every place I go says either 404, you know, not found, or you don't have permission to access this page, etc., etc. So I'm kind of winging it. So I just got an email back from Acura, and the relay goes way up in there, so we got to take this panel off, which means we got to take the sill plate off. So we're going to take the sill plate off, take the side panel off, and I'll show you where that relay goes. Okay, so if we look up here, we saw it before, but I wasn't quite sure. There's 2 relays, and then there's an open spot, and that's where it goes, right in that open spot. So let me put the camera down, and I'll pop this relay in. Okay, we got our relay installed. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there. Man, time to hook up the battery, see if this thing works. So one more note for you guys. It's actually, this is 11, and what I was over there was definitely not 11. So I put the fuse back here where it belongs, which I know you can't see because of the light, but it's the close one, number 11. Okay, let's give this thing a shot. Alright, start it up, that's good. Don't tell me airbag. Alright, I'm gonna have to scan that obviously, but heated wheel, there we go. And that's all for the 2016 Acura MDX heated steering wheel install. It works. The airbag light was on because one of the connectors wasn't plugged in all the way, so that took care of that. I just gave it the oil change, so now there's no lights on the dash whatsoever. Looking around, we still got the 2012 TSX wagon. That's what I drive to the airports and stuff. We still got the Jaguar. Still got the Pilot that still needs the engine and tires, of course. Still got the BMW. Devon's Tribute. Still got the tow pig over there. Ugh, the piece of garbage Toyota RAV4 that one of these days I think is just going to go to the dealer and say, here, fix it. Probably cost me $5 grand, and I'll be way upside down, but at least I'll have a running and driving SUV. Still got this thing. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Still got the reference Mustang. Still got the Element. That might be next, but I thought I was gonna do the Pilot next, so it'll probably be the Element. We gotta pull the engine out, replace the VTEC solenoid, reseal a bunch of oil leaks, and then put it back in. The Pilot needs the steering rack, and now it needs a fuel pump, of course. So we're gonna do a steering rack, fuel pump, and exhaust on that. We still got the 280 SEL that no one's interested in. And we've still got the parts Pilot over here, which is where I'm gonna get the steering rack from. And I'll probably take those 17-inch Acura rims and throw on the other one too, just because I think they look a little better. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. I take you along for the good and the bad. We finally did get an email from Acura that had the relay location, so we put that in. And I got a heated steering wheel, or my wife's got a heated steering wheel anyway. And until next time, keep the rubber side down, and always remember to keep your wrenches in motion.